I'm taking a walk. Go ahead and do this part two. Part two of greetings to all. Peace and blessings. Greetings to all. Part two of the will you leave it better? Hold on. Oh my gosh. Leave it better than when you found it. Part two. Where is that place I can sit down? I'm gonna find it. Yeah. I'm just making this relatable as possible. Some of us are so used to seeing people get stepped on the way up. And we actually took on this narrative of actually believing that we're supposed to manipulate people on the way up into said success in what y'all call this physical plane, near material plane, earth, whatever it is. We've seen the consistency of that, of seeing people get like devalued, dehumanized, attacked throughout that whole process. And so for some of us, again, a lot of us don't know what it is to, or have seen or witnessed what it is to be better. This is why I'm a firm believer on not judging people no matter what their demographics are. Because lately the Most High has been taking me through this journey of even being in environments where you're realizing these are people, human beings just like you. And so these different demographics have shown me, no matter their colors and creeds, these people are still, they're still valuable. They're still important. And so with that mindset, I realized, like, I've noticed I can go into environments and again, some people don't feel, not even just feel, the survival mindset. Oh Lord. The survival mindset is so rooted in a lot of people, depending on their demographics. And so, again, when I'm using that topic of leave it, when you leave it better than when you found it. Some people don't believe that there's hope, not even just hope. Their mindset have been so rooted in, again, the worst outcome, the worst possibilities. That's how I grew up, knowing that some people, it's not that they wasn't grateful for what they had, but in certain demographics, the very things that they would do, that survival mindset, was only know how to take, not from themselves, but from other people. And so with that, they have no other outlook on life if they don't feel like things will get better, if they don't have access to said resources, if they never been or ventured outside of their environment. It's very challenging. You come along and try to say a message or give them a message, let alone religion, or you've been giving them the same narrative. So again, how can one believe that things get better? Oh yeah, I found it. How can one even believe things will get better? So it's just like someone coming along and you finding them. But here you are trying to tell them the same message that someone else has been giving them for so many years and so forth. Make sure that don't fall. So you coming along giving them the same messages, but there's no there hasn't been a better outcome. There hasn't been, what I was telling someone, everyone, if you want to say, has problems, but where's the solution? And the solution is different for everyone, but again, because finances are not going to fix everything. And I've always said that there's an emotional side to finances. So yeah, you can give people a lot of money, but their mindset, they'll go out there and splurge. They'll go out there and try to prove or flex per se on the next person. But that other person mindset, again, due to them not ever experiencing a better life. So that quote of, leave it better than when you found it. A lot of us are still in that part of it not being better mentally, emotionally, and physically when you look at the demographics. So I do feel like this is a part of us having to take accountability, especially as elders or people that are creating this new environment, new world, the new world order of things, is that a lot of us wore our innocence, where our innocence were stripped again when we were very young. So a lot of people don't want to take accountability, especially elders, that a lot of us or elders have ruined, the elders that came before us. There's no account, and I'm not saying all, but there's no accountability on the fact of them taking ownership of the fact of what they have projected, whether unconsciously or consciously, onto the youth, which is us. So when I said before about how, I don't mind, I can't stand the bumps. When I mentioned before how leave it better than when you found it. What does it say? There's, insanity is doing the same thing, expecting the same result. So what does that tell us when we've been given fantasy? As much as elders, some people want to say, well, we did our best. Yes, they did. And that's where the grace comes in, to where, again, we step up and step in and be like, you know what you did is not that it wasn't good enough, and it has nothing to do with good or bad. What you did is that, if you want to use the term fail, they failed. They failed themselves. And most importantly, this is why you see a lot of the transition, or I've spoken before, like the spiritual and physical transfer right now between one world into another one. And it's forcing a lot of us in our early 30s, early 40s or mid 30s. And, those, I forgot what generation that's called, but knowing that we're the next elders, because, I've accepted that a lot of things before, I cannot honestly say that they left something that was, or they left, for some of us that are facing things like I'm having to find out shit now in my mid 30s. And it's not to blame anyone. I do feel like it's divinely orchestrated, but everyone don't have that mindset. And that's why I share my message just as a darker man, where, again, where I've spoke about how it's naturally to be seen as a threat, just by me speaking my truth, just by me walking upright, just by me walking in integrity, and so forth. And, again, going to these elders, that's not a thing as it used to be anymore. Like searching for a mentor. And what people don't want to realize, like, a lot of these people or a lot of these elders aren't open, mentally, emotionally. They aren't open. They're closed off. And I get it in a way to where they're so rooted in their old world and their old world narrative. And also the ego wants to feel acknowledged and wants to feel like it has to be seen and to be noticed, all the while their world is crumbling. So for me, it's asking of me to step up, to do something that's never been seen or witnessed before. Others may have done it before, but never like me. And the beauty of all of that is, again, when I look and reflect, I can honestly say to a lot of the elders that came before me, and this is for a lot of women and men, when I say leave it better than when you found it, when you look at your relationships, when you look at your demographics and so forth, you have the responsibility now to do just that. And it doesn't always have to be financially. It can be, you coming and healing in a better place where years ago when you knew where you were and now you found yourself at a better place mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and so forth, without having to feel guilt and shame around why it is you needed to grow for you, and how that ripples to yourself, the lineage, and your daughters and your nephews, nieces, or just basically to your lineage. That's the importance of a lot of this. And it's very challenging and difficult because as much as I say, yeah, I know elders at an arm's length, or I can reach out and grasp, it's really difficult, and it's not the same as it used to be. And that's okay. I realized, like, again, just seeing from my experience, and it's not always like this, but it has been like that when I recognize how, even as a man, as you rise into your power, take back your power, because things were not left better than when I found it. I was telling someone earlier how my grandfather transitioned months ago, and then you hear about certain people inheriting certain things inadvertently, or just in a way to where it's more so over greed, it's more so over the emotional attachment, or I got this and not concerned about everyone else. And then there's another side to people I know who grandparents have left them something, they are inheriting some type of land and so forth. Do I feel guilty? Do I feel ashamed? No. Am I frustrated? Yes, because again, leave it better than when you found it hits me more deeper now, because this is giving a lot of us an opportunity to, even though things were not set up for me with my grandfather, or certain elders who could have positioned people in a better place to be more stabilized emotionally, mentally, and physically, I have the opportunity now, and it shall come to pass. It shall happen. I know this, and I will still move forward and having joy in not just obtaining it, but not feeling guilty of said success when it comes to just being who I am and honoring who I am, walking in integrity, sharing the message so the youth know that, yes, just because of your demographic doesn't mean that you don't have the opportunity. And I'm not going to give you this, go to school, do all this. Listen, the best thing you can ever do first is to learn how to be with you, to learn you, and never stop learning you. I still every day it's like a newborn baby. I'm still learning me. I'm still growing. I'm still unlearning the fact that I, didn't have a father present, but every day accepting that I have to become the man that I never seen and never saw and never witnessed in a healthy way. I have to father myself. And it's not to say that, and it's again, my reality, my thing is different than anyone else. I know people can relate. That's why, again, I send these messages of encouragement and also accountability, because I do experience said elders when you're reaching out for support and they gatekeep shit. Let's be real, they gatekeep shit. And so that isn't leaving things better than when you found it. And when I mean found, it's like, you come on people's path, they found you, or you find them, and you have an opportunity. I told you the root word of found is like foundation. You have an opportunity, no matter what your color and creed, to bridge the bridge from the old world to the new world, a foundation upon truth and honesty. Meaning that even though your parents or your lineage or certain people may not have been too fond at a point in time of people that are darker, okay, we found each other on this journey, on this path. You have an opportunity to create a foundation upon integrity and authenticity, no matter how uncomfortable the conversation, the exchange may be. That's what's happening. We're healing. We're healing. I almost said backwards, but in a way, that's what we're doing. The wounds of the world, the wounds subconsciously, inwardly, we're all, whether individually or collectively, it's unraveling. It's like we're literally looking at. We have yet to even put a band-aid or nurture the things that have been wounded, been enabling this wounded ass society. And the only way you can do that, a lot of, is being able to acknowledge and recognize what has been, what has not the problem, what has not just been the problem, because the problem, I don't look at it like, oh, it's bad or it's negative. No, because those terminologies are completely different. How my perspective is, it's just like when you look at a problem that you have to solve, this plus this equals this. Okay, so if the equation before wasn't fucking working, that's how I look at the old narrative of the old world. If this equation wasn't panning out, wasn't coming to a solution or common ground or something stable, then why would I sit here and try to get with the program or buy into it or even subscribe to it or even just try to be a part of something that I know that has always been a part of the problem that never has been solved? If this keeps coming out and that keeps coming and then there's no solution, I have to look at the elders. I have to hold their ass accountable too. Because yes, y'all have failed us. Because you failed yourself. You failed to see, or your inability to see, that you are a part of the problem and we are a part of the problem. Meaning that whatever equation or whatever number or whatever it is, to find a solution. Again, so for me, I cannot say for a lot of us that, again, it's all the perspective on how you look at it. And it's very challenging for a lot of people to try to find clarity when, again, you have had people who gatekeep or stepped on people along the way and they called it success. They've hidden their hand. They called it integrity. They called it all these other bullshit things, and what you're seeing now, that everything that they created, no matter what level it is on a faulty ass foundation. Nothing stable. If it was so stable and rooted in truth, it will stand through the test of not just the illusion of time, but just it will withstand. Truth and authenticity, integrity withstand anything. You cannot threaten it. And that's why I told y'all before my previous 2 videos, like, it's a threat to a society or to a narrative or to anything when you are walking in integrity or truth or anything that is the opposite of what has been created here. If you're trying to unify people, what's the opposite of that? Division. If you're trying to bridge the gap between racism, I mean, this shit is common sense, or self-hatred. And then you're trying to love your version of yourself and build with people who may not be the same nationality or color, you have the opportunity to leave it better than when you found it. Some of us are connecting with people is to have the opportunity universally to build a foundation better than when we found it. A lot of us have, in a lineage or in our matriarchal, whether you're a patriarchal or matriarchal, a lot of us have the opportunity to, man, look at all this, bro. Man, how did I come into this? And we're looking at it like, whoa. Well, mom and dad didn't leave this for, or they didn't teach me this, or they didn't. And you found that along your journey. You found out and you realized, like, whoa, I have to be the one to leave it better. That takes a whole lot of responsibility. And you cannot just do it alone. You cannot just do it alone. There are others that will think and be, in due time that will relate, that will actually come into that awareness of, wow, I actually do have the opportunity. And again, it's where you are. It's not cutting corners and jumping to, oh, I gotta I gotta have this much money. And see, that's the thing where it has got people so stagnant and stuck, is that I had to learn that. Even when I didn't know where certain shit was gonna come from, I had to be like, you know what? It's already taken care of in advance. But when you grow up around wounded people or people who are in survival mode and don't know how to break chains or break free of that mindset, they only focus on the worst possible outcome because of so much fear. And when you look at the bigger picture of everything that has happened, when you look at how certain demographics, why people are the way they is, it's because the music, the everything is pushed for them to focus on the worst possible outcome. Nothing better, no solution, truly no solution to be, to encourage to be better for themselves first, and how it affects everyone around them. Yo, I mean, I wouldn't be who I am if I didn't say what it is. And some people can't help it. People like, going back to again the elders, where I've been in places where not just they gatekeep, but they literally can actually put you in places or support. But you're dealing with wounded egos. You're dealing with a wounded society, to where, again, people have only known people to step on others, manipulate, criticize, or just, devalue people on their way up. And that's all the world has known. So y'all are looking at a place, or have looked at a place where, again, has it really been better since you found it? Or founding fathers? How has the founding fathers made this better, when you have pushed away the founding mothers of this nation, of the nations of the world? Let's speak on it. How can you think that you're going to dismiss and push away, the saying goes like, a nation can rise no higher than its woman? How can you think you're just going to exclude the woman and not value and uplift her in a way to where you actually, the greatest illusion is separation. So you actually believe, which a mother naturally keeps everyone together because of her love, her nurturing, and so forth. That's why the mother energy, the divine mother in itself, is the foundation of all things. Because if we were here by ourselves as men, not only how are we going to reproduce, but what are we going to do? The way men are set up, logically, we'll be thinking for the future, but without a woman to create it with. So as much as people want to exclude and realize, like, again, how has this nation or leaders or anywhere around, when I say leave it better than when you found it, look at your leaders. Look at what you call leadership in your life and everywhere around. How can you say that the people have left things better than when they found it? When some of your ancestors came here, even when darker people were here. How can you say they left it better? Look at what happened. Look at what wounded egotistical men, power-driven, capitalist, or self-righteous men have done to this country. And the more and more y'all keep pushing women with this country, you can't have a garden. You can't have nothing that grows without nurturing it, without putting, pouring love into it, authenticity. And the reason why things have been the way it is because of the imbalance women have been in. Because if they're not balanced and stable within themselves emotionally, then they're everything but authentic and integrity. And so when you have women who walk around angry at the world, or holding on to repressed and suppressed emotions and things that they didn't even know that was within them, and passing it generationally, you can't build shit with that. You only destroy. Women destroy things with their mouth. A woman can destroy everything with a nation with her mouth. A man can destroy everything with destroy a nation with his actions. Look at your fucking actions. Look at your communities. Look at your nations. Look at your leadership. Look at the men. This is all of the collective subconscious fears. This is y'all. These people that are in place, they reflect you. As much as we want to run from that, again, I can acknowledge and say I was a part of stuff unconsciously until I became aware. Your nations will go nowhere until you honor the femininity within yourself and until you rise from the ashes like a phoenix and honor both femininity and masculinity in your assertiveness. None of you all, you leaders, everyone, I advise you to share this to all. None of the nations shall rise again until they honor the mother, the origins of everything. You have nothing if you nurture, the women don't nurture the children. You have nothing if they don't nurture the fucking kids who are the foundations of the new world, the future worlds. This same goes for men and everything else. I'm not exempt. I done went through shit where I got my ass whooped spiritually, mentally, and emotionally and physically. It all connects to where I was like, yeah, these lessons are not happening for no reason, because I honestly choose to be not even just on the side, but standing in something that lasts. Not even lasts, but it's for longevity. That will not just endure, but I can be able to see the fruits of the labor and realize when those seeds are planted, they will continue a legacy, a journey of honesty, integrity, and truth. Your nations will not rise until you honor the woman again in all of her ways, in all of her truths, until you all hold space for not only what has happened to her, especially the darker woman, but all shades of women. Your nations will not rise. Ashe. Until y'all confess, until you be honest exactly about your role and your part. Until then, your lineages will be cursed because you are not honoring that which giving you the power to be who you are. All of you fucking men come from women. All of you. All of you women, again, it's a balance. For you to be here to be created, you all came from women and men. There is a balance in the universe. There is no one that is exempt. There's no one that's exempt. And that's what's being restored, the Divine Mother, as well as the Divine Father. You don't have to accept or be truthful. That's what's happening. And I do not want to be on the other side of men who are so egotistical and power-driven. You will be brought down to grace. You will fall from grace. Y'all will see the domino effect that is already in place because of the faulty foundations that these men and the women behind them who enable the dysfunction, who enabled to even manipulate them into believing that what they created was not going to be dismantled because they were self-righteous and wounded themselves. So again, how can you say that you left something better than when you found it and not take responsibility in that? This nation shall see all around the world of what has really happened. Not only with just darker people in around the nations, but also the darker people who had their hand in the role of what has unfolded, of all shades. So choose wisely. Peace and blessing. Shalom.